Wow, a lot is going on. We're excited about what's taking place. Just closed up the International Convention in the Philippines. First time we went outside of North America. Awesome experience. Went great. Big crowds, excitement. People are energized about what's taking place. Kathy mentioned as we were visiting before the call, if you have not seen yet the new Max Science video, which was intended to keep things very simple, set up Dr. Nagasawa as our science, an introduction to the power and the essence of what is contained in glutathione, and then position ribosine as that great solution. If you haven't seen it yet, you can see it by going to YouTube and simply searching Max Science 2016. Max Science 2016. You can find that, start sharing that link. It's a great way to bring somebody into the credibility of Dr. Nagasawa and the science that drives what we're doing, and then, of course, takes you right to ribosine, which is our patented and exclusive proprietary ingredient. So that's a great tool, and glad to hear the positive feedback we just enjoyed from that. There is so much going on, and we're in a growth period. We're beginning to move, and I want to talk about that. Everybody that I've reached out to, I got people traveling, people getting back from the Philippines, and I just wanted to take and pull together tonight the things that I'm hearing and the things that are taking place. And so I've got about 3 concepts to cover. The major thing is that we are entering a momentum period that I believe we can push for the next 90 days. That should set up not only a great 90 days, but a system that we're already seeing working. We're already getting it in place, and the feedback is phenomenal. I'll gather more of that, and some of you who've had those experiences, reach out to me, and I'll be reaching to you, and we'll get you on the call over the next 3 weeks. But there's so much going on that I wanted to just condense it and really talk about, first of all, what it means to build and be in momentum, what it means to get into momentum, and then we'll come back and I'll explain those 3 pieces that are causing that to take place. We're nearing our 10-year anniversary, and the fact that we're still here after 10 years is a credit to our product. It is a credit to the science and the great need that our product supplies and reinforces, and the effect that we see. And those of you who use the product, those who've been with us any amount of time, know what I'm talking about. The product works. And so there's a mantra that we're starting to sing, and I think it's important that we share it this way. And it's simply this: I share the opportunity if that's what they want. I get them on the product if that's what they need. Share the opportunity if that's what they want. If they're looking for opportunity, I heard a number today, 81% of Americans, North Americans I could assume, have flat or falling incomes. 81% of the people that you run into every day are in a flat or declining income scenario. So they're all open, many people are open to the idea that there might be a way to create an additional revenue stream. That's the opportunity. On the product side, get them on the product if that's what they need. How do I know that they need the product? They will tell me that they need the product. And how do they manifest that? They manifest it through tired in the afternoon, complaints about energy, complaints about not being able to recover after workout, overall well-being, those kinds of things that we hear as we visit with people. And then we can simply come in and offer the fact that we have a solution. I might have something that works for you. If I sent you a video, would you look at it? That kind of nomenclature becomes very, very simple. First, let me tell you a quick experience about momentum. When I was a boy, I was raised in Idaho, and every summer we spent it in our little dingy cabin on the South Fork of the Salmon River, which is in the wilderness area. And it was very, very going back in time. No electricity. We had a spring for water. We had a river, and we had mountains to climb. It was absolute paradise. My brothers and I one time were up on the mountain behind the cabin, and it was a placer claim, which meant that we were under the claim of finding gold. We had access to this 20 acres of ground that we could put the cabin on and enjoy it. We had to maintain that registration by doing a certain amount of work on the placer claim, which meant we had to go and dig and find ground and go down the river and take our gold pans and pan for gold and do all of that process. My brothers and I one time were up on the hill, and we were digging under a rock, and we were looking for some ground that we were going to go try in the gold pan, and we found this rock. And when I say rock, it was easily 1,500 to 2,000 pounds. It was huge, and it was round. And my brothers and I got this great idea that we could get it to slide, and it would then run down the mountain. Now, we didn't think about the fact that we were above the cabin, we were above the buildings, we were above the vehicles. We didn't think about any of that. We just thought about the fact that here was this rock, and we thought with a little bit of digging, we could get it to move. And so we started digging, and it took us a couple of hours to dig, and we finally got that rock. We put all kinds of effort into it. We had shovels, and we had picks, and we were digging with our hands and digging with our feet and moving rocks away and moving dirt away. And finally it moved, and very, very little bit of a slip, and then we reinforced our efforts, and then a little bit more it moved, and then we dug away from the mountain even more, and finally it moved. And as it moved slowly, and then it turned over one time, and then it turned again, and then it was gone. It was gone. When that momentum started, it was gone. And we were elated until we realized that the cabin was in its path. Now, fortunately, our cabin was built out of stone. So when that 1,500-pound rock collided with the corner of our cabin, it sounded like a gunshot that echoed through the canyons of that river country and brought my mother out in a huff. But no damage was done, but we really, really hit that cabin. But once that momentum started, there was no stopping. And when I was thinking about what I would say to you tonight, I thought, do I talk about build to momentum and maintaining it? Or just talk about building momentum? Because once I built momentum, just like I got that rock to slide, once it turned and turned again, it was gone. And that's what I think we're on the verge of doing. That's what excites me, and I'll share with you why I think it's happening, and I'll share with you what we're doing to cause that to happen. First thing, and I went back to my mentor. I have two mentors that really, really mean a lot to me, Dr. Robert Schluter and Dr. Clifton Jolly. Dr. Schluter is emeritus professor of physics from MIT and Northwestern. He's 92 years old. I visit him as often as I can. He's in an assisted living scenario, but he's one of the most brilliant men I ever met. And from him I learned two very important things. I had Dr. Schluter in a class. I was teaching a class at university on interviewing. And I asked Dr. Schluter, how do you know when you found your life's work? And he said, it's one word. And that word is passion. When you find that you can have passion with purpose, for changing people's lives, for helping other people, for building your own legacy, for creating a revenue stream to lift you out of the challenges that you feel if you're that 81% where you feel you're living your life check to check. If you are motivated by that and you have passion for that, then you can find purpose. And he mentored many students. I would bring young people to him to have conversation as they graduated from high school, headed into college and on to advanced degrees. And I would sit and I would say things to him, and I would have him talk with these students, and he would always say simply, aim high. So if I have passion for what I'm doing in my Max Connection, whether it's as business or product, and I aim high for the hoped-for results of using the product or the hoped-for experience of building the business, that is where I need to be. Aim high. Steve says shoot for the moon. So that's number one. Measure that passion. Measure your where you want to be in terms of your personal goal, your personal legacy. With that included, then come back into the fact that there are personal skills. Understand our talent, strengthen our talent and skill, and bring in people who will help us with our weakness so that we can overcome where we have weakness that impacts what we're doing. Simplicity will do a lot of that. And that gets back to number 3, but I'm getting ahead of myself. There are certain skills that are required in this business. We have to be able to organize ourselves and create a list. That's imperative. If I'm not good at that, then I need to find a partner who can help me with that. Or if I'm not good at that, I need to get good at it. I need to learn how to do it. Then I have to be able to invite. I'm going to talk to you in a moment about some very, very simplistic ways to invite. And I'm glad, Kathy, that you mentioned that new video, because that's one of the ways to help us with that. Then we have to discover the needs or the wants of the people that we visit. So skill number 1 is the list. Skill number 2 is inviting. Skill number 3 is presentation. I'll get to that in a second. Inviting, I simply open my mouth and I get to know people. We've talked often about the form method. Find out about their family, their occupation, their recreation, the things they do for money. Find out those things. But establish those personal connections. I say, find out what they want, find out what they need. That directs me to what I want to do next. And then the third thing to bring into, and this is what's really creating some excitement, is the intro pack. If I have not sent you a letter describing the intro pack, I will connect that into the list following the call tonight, and I'll push that out to everyone. I think I did, but I'll make sure that I did. One video, one audio, and one blog that you can use to help understand that. But what the intro pack does is this. It allows me to do the first of 4, actually, but the first 2 very important things that have to take place in order for my group to have momentum. Number 1, I have to have vision. I have to have passion. I have to know where I want to go. Number 2, I have to have a duplicable system, and that is what we've created with the new intro pack. In the intro pack, it's a $250 purchase of 8 pieces of product. So that put together, and the sleeves come in the pack, put together I then have 8 individual packages, and in North America we're using Celgevity, Infuse, Max ATP. I can create 8 individual packages, and then I can sell those 8 individual packages for $35 US. When I sell the 8, I've recovered $280 US, and here's where the momentum begins. If I take that $280, I take the top $30 and reward myself, go out for a movie or a pizza or whatever you like to do, but take the other $250 and put it back into another purchase of 8 seed packages. If I do that, I'm never again purchasing out of my pocket the product that I need to seed the growth of my momentum. If I were a gambler, I would say that I'm playing on the house money at that time. So I take that $250, I don't spend it, I put it back in. Now, when I'm bringing someone in, I think we should be stronger about how we talk to them. Now, if you can't get to that point, I understand that. But if I could bring someone in, and many businesses out there are stepping up to a little stronger commitment, if I brought someone in at $350 US, that means that they have an intro pack to work with, and they have $100 to be qualified on their volume qualification. Now, I know that the intro pack gives me that qualification as well, but hear this out. If I buy the $250, that's my seed money. I'm not going to spend it. I'm not going to use it. I put my 8 seeds into play off of my initial list. This is what you do with a new person. I put my 8 seeds into play. I get my return on the 8. Out of the 8, I will have a yes-no percentage. I take the yes-no percentage. I turn them into preferred customers and into new associates. Okay? Kelly Ronson, who's listening to the call, last weekend did exactly this and had a 100% closing ratio with 5 trial packs. She put 2 new associates together and 3 new preferred customers. Fantastic. Fantastic. That is so exciting. That's how I do. That's how I build. I build with that block of utilizing that product in that way. Now, if let's say that my yes-no percentage of those packages, those seeds, is 2 out of the 8, then I have to get better with the quality of my presentation, the quality of my tracking, the quality of how I nurture that relationship, whatever it is that I can do to improve my personal skills in following up, following through, as Mike LeBrun taught us so well 2 weeks ago, as staying in touch with people, as Steve Rose has taught us, as helping people expect. Now, I've got one other thing to offer you tonight, and that is I'm testing a text message, 7 messages that will go out via text message that helps your people, when you put them on the package, know what to expect during the week. I really recommend that you still talk to them once and make sure they're using the product, but I can put a text message platform. I'm testing it now. If you want to use it, send me an email or a text message with the person's name and their phone number. And the people that listen here, you are the Max Development Team. I will utilize that for you. So send it to me at mclapier@max.com, MCLAPIER @max.com. There is an upgrade of the Max app that's taking place and will be available soon. I'll know more about that when people get back from the Philippines and we start rolling out the next phase. Don't know where it is yet. This will go into that. But right now, I will make it available because I want to test it and I want to get your feedback. So let's say that you sell a package or you just want to have somebody be touched 1 week's time. I'm happy to do that. It's designed for this. On Monday, I sell you the Max package of Celgevity, Enfuse, ATP. You pay me $35. You send me their name. I'll put their name into that drip campaign. When the app carries it in a few weeks, you can then just push a button and it automatically starts. They will get a message day one about what to expect, when to take the product, and what they can look for that the product's going to do for them. So it's a quality of life assessment. Very simple. It's not as advanced as some of you. I looked at what several of you are doing. It's not as advanced as that, but it still gives an expectation in their mind of what to look at and what might be taking place. I might be sleeping better. I might feel better after workouts. I might just have an overall sense of well-being. And then when that week has ended, I still don't know, so I need your feedback on this, but I think that what is best is that if they run out and they want it, they'll call. If they run out and you don't hear from them, give them a day or two before you call, because what Scott Henderson has taught us is that if he does that, on day 8, 9, or 10, when he calls, he gets this response. I wasn't sure what it was doing for me, but I know now that I've been out for 3 or 4 days that it was doing something. And then you reinforce the fact that, yeah, it's doing something. You'll know better when you've been on it 90 days. I've been on it 3 years. I'll never stop taking it. But at least we've started that. So it gives you that opportunity to have that experience. So I want you to be in communication with me. If you've got someone and you send me their name and number, I'll put them in the drip campaign. That means that 24 hours after I enter their name and number, they will get a message. And then they will get a message every day. It'll come at 8 o'clock. And the message will say, Max helps you. And a U as in university. Max helps you. So let them know that. So I want to put that out as an offer. These things are already creating success. I'm seeing it in the groups that are trying it. Kelly, as I mentioned, Renard Barteau, he's seeing things take place. We're getting other people just now to see it. The Max Active Intro Pack system created 131 new sales last month. They were all associates. 2/3 were existing Max associates. Start to look at what your volumes will do when you're doing this, and then I'll end on these 2 thoughts. Last month in North America, as a team, we enrolled people with $159 of purchase at the time of enrollment. Imagine what will happen to your team's volume if you're utilizing the $100 level first, the auto ship level to plant seeds, and you're consistently planting seeds, And if the auto ship starts to be those numbers, so that we're really trying to close at $350, but we'll back to $250. I mean, we'll back to 100 if that's what we need to do. But imagine what our volumes would be if every new associate you brought in the last month came in at $250 to $350. Our business would start to move. That's thought number one. Thought number two is that now that I can see that I buy this pack, that I create my 8 packages, that I plant my 8 seeds, and you will mentor them, you will teach them how to open their mouth, how to have that conversation, how to say, if I sent you a video, would you look at it? Great, I'll call you back. How to do all the things that we train all the time how to do. If we could then start that boulder to slip just a little bit and then turn ever so slightly until it actually turns one revolution. And one revolution would mean that I then see people on my first level do the same thing. They have bought the enrollment pack, the intro pack. They have placed 8 seeds. I have worked with them to close those 8 seeds. As a team, I know that I close 30% of the seeds we place. 30% of the packages we replace, they end up as either a preferred customer or as an associate. If I come into the business and you show me that simple plan, that's very believable. That's very duplicable. The duplication is when the boulder turns that first slow rotation. That's the first level. But then, if I bring in 4 new associates, and the 4 associates turn their boulder one turn, and then the next people coming in, which would be my second level, my grandchildren, my second level, if that then turns, then the boulder turns twice. And after the boulder turns twice, it will go. It will run. It will move on its own momentum. That's how close we are. We know it's working when people are using it. We know that it can take place. I'm excited for what's about to happen. I know it's happening, and I know it happened. 131 people purchased enrollment, either new intro packs or recharge packs, as they're called. When you sell the intro pack to your new associate, you get a $50 fast track bonus. I know Kelly's going, yeah, that's right, don't forget that. You get a $50 fast track bonus to invest in the time you're going to spend with those people. So now I'm getting my seed money so I can play on the house money. I've got revenue growing so that my needs are met and my revenue stream is growing. And I get paid every time I bring somebody in. And if you deem your time worth $50, you get paid $50 an hour. If you deem your time worth 10, you get paid for 5 hours of work, however you deem your time. But you're paid to invest and start that person right. That's one of Eric Worre's essentials, is you have to start that person right. Now, we're out of time. I thank you, my friends, for what you're teaching me, for what I'm seeing in the field. Every leader, every upline diamond has bought into the intro pack as a simple process. I can explain it, I can see it, I can do it. I sample, I lead you, I let the product do its thing, and I take people where they want to go. I show them the opportunity if that's what they want. I get them on the product if that's what they need. And I learn that by listening to them. And if they have a question, I say, if I send you a video, would you watch it? And I send videos, and I share with my upline. And I quit trying to be a glutathione expert, and I quit trying to do it all, and I keep it simple, simple, simple. Did I say simple? Simple. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you. Thank you for letting me pull all of this together. I know some of you have heard, but I'm telling you, it's working. It's working. Sales North America moved up. Let's keep that moving up through the holiday, and then we'll have a great first quarter next year. I appreciate you. I'll talk to you again in 7 days. Good night.